In Adria Goodson's Change the World, Join a Movement speech about social movements, I got two things from it that were really great to take away. One is it just requires an ordinary act. So whether that's voting, having your voice heard, teaching your children these things and your beliefs for them to continue to act on is a really main point. And then the second one is to make a commitment to this. This can often be a lifetime commitment that you're making. A lot of the change that people are wanting to happen have high passions and have real issues that need to be addressed, and oftentimes they're not going to be fixed overnight. This can take months, it can take years, decades. A lot of the stuff that we're still fighting for today have been an issue for decades past, and I think it's really important that people need to understand that you're not going to see change overnight, and that's okay, but changing one person's view on something or getting one small task done is working towards the bigger picture. Going back to the ordinary acts, I thought that was really interesting because oftentimes we think in order to make something of yourself or to make yourself known and your point of view known, it needs to be a grand gesture. So oftentimes we think of, with the Civil Rights Act, we think of integrating schools. We think of Martin Luther King Jr. making the walk through Selma. We think of these big protests and boycotts, and oftentimes it can just be the small things. For Adria to share her story of her parents, they were a couple that were married across races. Her mother was white and her father was black. And just knowing that they took a step in marrying each other, that's a social movement in itself at the time. The next thing they did was they voted. For every election that came, no matter if it was big or small, they voted. They wanted their voice to be heard. And then they really decided to pass on these beliefs and these values to their children and teach their children the importance of equality. And the outcome from that is now their children are teaching it to their children. So it's a generational thing that's being passed down, and social movements don't happen overnight.